podcast called Jellison Podcast.
He probably doesn't remember this at all.
Yeah, record together. It's easy.
This is kind of real. Like, holy shit.
And so it's really cool to get to be a part of that.
Hey, you know how it is, though. Hey, when
you now tune into the biggest ever.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
I don't remember that. That's crazy.
What's up, everyone? We're back with episode 136 of the Just Podcast, and David, very special guest, former Butler guard, two-time All Big East, Kellen Dunham. Kellen, how are you?
Doing well, man. I'm honored to be on episode 136. You've been at this for a while. That's amazing.
Yes, sir. Almost, like 2.5 years in now. So I mean,
a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I have any level of success is because of people like you that are willing and able to come on the show. So I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for asking.
No problem. So first of all, off the bat, I saw you're playing in the TBL this upcoming year with the Indiana All-Americans. So talk about a little bit how that kind of came to be and why you chose to take that opportunity.
Yeah, great question. So I guess I got to backtrack a little bit of my background. So like I played basketball in Indiana in high school. Thankfully enough to be like an Indiana All-Star, then that kind of led me to becoming a Butler Bulldog. Played there for 4 years at Butler University. Went to 3 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 round of 32s. Played 4 years professionally of basketball, and then I think the Lord was like, man, I don't know if I can get you any more spots for playing overseas or playing in the G League. It was kind of hard to make ends meet. And so I got my first real job essentially at Salesforce. And thankfully that the Lord kind of gave me an opportunity to play TBL, which is a national organization, but also it's like got a Midwestern like regional conference as well. So we're able to play in teams in Ohio and Kentucky, Michigan, Indiana. And I was so thankful because it gave me an opportunity to keep working my real job, which I love, but also continue playing the game that I've been playing for 25 years previously. So it's a blessing to be able to play again, to play with like some teammates I absolutely love. We played together last year. Some of the guys are returning. So I'm very excited about that and going for the championship, man. No messing around.
Yes, sir. What's it like for you to kind of, I mean, like you said, you play basketball for 25, basically your whole life, right? What was it like for you to now kind of step back and not have basketball be your quote unquote full-time job, like it had been maybe in college and into the pros?
Yeah, a little bit different of a change. So it's not as much like a physical challenge anymore, but there's like a mental capacity too of like, now it's a little bit draining to be focused for 8 or 9 hours out of the day to, try to make sales calls and things like that. But I don't know. I kind of miss the exercise, the team environment. My entire like sales career so far, I've been like on in like a remote role. So I miss that kind of like team environment, going into a road game against a, crowd that just absolutely hates you, going in there and get the dub and get out of there. Just stuff like that. I kind of miss that competition, but definitely see it at work some too.
And what all has kind of gone through your mind as you take this step back and just kind of go down a different path in terms of your basketball career?
Yeah. So I guess it was a kind of a difficult decision to, make the jump from the basketball world, but I still feel attached in the sense of I still have a lot of friends that coach, still have a lot of friends that are in the NBA and continue to, play well. So it's really nice to be able to take some of the years that I've learned a lot from them and from others and from coaches and kind of like pour into kids that are, a little bit younger that have aspirations to do the same thing I did or even better. So just like taking some of the things that I've learned and seeing like helping like kids that are, middle school, high school, elementary, like connect the dots with their game and try to understand what they need to work on and stuff like that has been such a blessing too.
Yeah. And I mean, for you, someone like you who's succeeded at every level they've been at, I mean, you're never gonna leave basketball. You're always gonna have a part of you in there. And I feel like, I mean, whether it's training, I know you've gotten to training and coaching a little bit, and obviously you're still playing. Do you think that you'll ever move on from basketball, or is it just gonna be a part of your life forever?
I hope I don't. I hope I don't. It's a little scary sometimes because I'm spending all the majority of my time working or whatever. But I still have that itch. I still go and watch my little brother, who's a senior in high school now. He's having an incredible year. His name's Jellison Dunham. I go watch him and still get that fix of hearing the high school band as he's running out to play, and seeing him get his first double was pretty cool too. Yeah, I'm still getting my fix. I hope I never get away from it. I would love to make like a side hustle thing out of teaching kids how to play and working on their skills.
Especially back home in Pendleton and around that area. I mean, you'd be a hot commodity if you decided to do so. Kind of talking about the Indiana All-Americans as a team. I just talked to Lou Jack today, who's a former guest on the pod a few times actually. So I'm excited to see him get back out there. Talk a little bit about the team and some of the guys you have, because it's you, Lou Jack, Sean Sellers, Troy Taylor, and I'm assuming more will be added as you get closer to people.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Lou Jack's gotta grow on me a little bit. You Boilermakers, man. I don't know. I don't trust you guys yet. We had to play against each other twice, and I have a ton of respect for Coach Painter and love what they've done with their program and continue to grow. And they always have great teams that are very competitive. So it's really cool to see so many connections there at Purdue. And I'm excited to play with Lewis Jackson. We were gonna play together in the D League years back, but I think Lou got a little banged up and it didn't work out. But yeah, I'm really excited for the team. A couple returning guys, Aaron Larson and Troy Taylor, are really good friends. Won the championship last year in Hoosier Heritage Basketball Association. Was so cool. Those guys play hard and they take it really serious, so it's a lot of fun. Sean Sellers is still an enemy to me until we get our first game under our belt. He sniped us for probably 10 threes in a single game, and he's an incredible player from Ball State. Have a ton of respect for him and all the staff over there. So it's gonna be a fun year. We're pretty stacked, but so's the rest of the team. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, I absolutely love that all you guys are getting that opportunity to play in this type of league. And I mean, I know it started fairly recently, so it's continuing to grow. But I mean, just having that platform for other people that maybe don't have the opportunities overseas or in the G League, like you said, I mean, it's and then to have 3 teams in Indiana is perfect.
Right, and still getting that I don't know what it is, you still get that fix of the community from back in high school, almost all the communities kind of around you, backing you. You're getting to play in some of your hometowns, and that's so fun to me, and still just so thankful to be around the game.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, for you, are you guys going to play in Newcastle's gym?
Oh, I wish we might try to get at 1 or 2 special games in, but we're playing at Blue River, which is really nice too. We had a couple games there last year, but that'll be our home venue.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was like, damn, if they play in Newcastle, that place is gonna be jumping. I love that so much.
Have you been there before, Dub?
I've been there. I went there once to watch Mason Gillis play when he was in high school.
Boilermaker, yeah. That place is awesome. I'm glad you got to go there. It's amazing.
No doubt. I mean, you can list 50 gyms in Indiana that are just iconic and unique in their own way. I mean, even the old days like the Wigwam and Anderson, and I mean some of this. I mean, I'm from the HCC, so Noblesville, Carmel. I mean, all those gyms. Carmel's gym is really weird, but I like it.
Yeah, man, you know your stuff. You know all your gyms, but you didn't mention one of the better ones is Mackey Arena, man. Come on.
Okay, I'm just talking about high school right now. Right now. But hey, yeah, I mean, no doubt. what is it going to be like for you to? I know you played last year in kind of your hometown, but just to be able to have your friends and family come and see you play once again. I know you went to Butler, so they're probably able to go to a lot of games, but you go overseas, you play in the G League. What's it going to be like for you to kind of reminisce about those high school feelings, like you mentioned?
Yeah, I loved it. And last year, even now we're dealing with COVID and stuff like that, which is kind of hard to like trust your fan numbers,
Yeah.
But hopefully, if the Lord's willing, we have just some more fans and some more kids coming out. I remember last year we had a couple AAU teams play like at halftime and before the game. So I would love to get the community involved, because that's like the whole reason we're doing this. Obviously, it's very competitive and we're trying to make a little money, but it's also at the same time like I was one of those kids one time, and if you can give somebody some hope and say, hey, this game's really important to me, but there's eternity's on the line, playing for the glory of God is amazing too, to be able to share some good news with some young kids as well.
Well, I told this to Lou Jack earlier. I talked to him. I'm gonna be there for that home opener. I wouldn't miss it for the world. But
come on, man, we'll get you some tickets.
Hey, I appreciate that. But I want to take you back to, growing up in Pendleton. What was basketball? What did basketball mean to you, and just your area in Indiana?
Yeah, man. Great question. It's hard to describe, but it consumed a better part of my life in a sense of, I pretty much practice every day. I'm in an environment where high school basketball, from not just an AAU standpoint, but just like public schools, is still very much like respected. Like in the Midwest, there are a fair amount of kids that will go play, prep or whatever, but like there's still a lot of like NBA talent that'll stay at their public schools and play. And there's a lot of great players. So like I remember growing up as I was a manager for our high school basketball team at Mount Vernon, and I went and watched 4 or 5 Division I players there, playing, and helped rebound for them, and just like building that like that sense of like I want to be like you guys one day was pretty powerful. And then my dad made it very, very much like encouraged at home to we'd watch Larry Bird old games, we'd be watching NBA, we'd be constantly talking about how to improve. So maybe a little unhealthy of a basketball environment that I grew up in, but like Indiana has such like a proud tradition. I mean, you look at Purdue, you look at IU, Butler, Evansville, like Notre Dame, it just goes on and on.
I mean, Justin, I think this was your class, but it was like you, Ronnie Johnson, Gary Harris, Yogi Ferrell, all coming out of Indiana. I mean, that's a hell of a lineup right there.
Yeah, man, we'd make arguments that we were one of the better Indiana All-Star teams, so. But that might get some people fired up. I don't know.
I mean, I think so, but every year it feels like there's a guy that's a 5-star. I mean, that's playing in the league. I think a year after you guys was Trey Lyles, and then you got like the Blackmans, and I mean, we could sit here and talk for 12 hours about how much talent is in Indiana. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, you look around the NBA. I remember working out with Marcus Teague, played in the NBA. Jeff Teague plays in the NBA. You got G-Rob. You got
Corey Lee,
Yogi. Yeah, I mean, it's endless.
Yeah, no doubt. And what was it like for you last year? I know you kind of touched on COVID and how the fans weren't the same, but I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, you're saying like last year, what was it like with playing?
Yeah, so just being able to play in your hometown again, like being able to play around your family. But I mean, take out the fan part of it, just being back home and being able to play. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, it was amazing because like our home court was my high school gym, and so every turn that I make, I have a memory of, I remember when this place was packed when we won the county championship, and look around and remember getting screamed at by my head coach right there on the bench. And I guess, like, I know you said take out the fans, but I look up and see like little kids and stuff watching us play, and you just have like another level of responsibility of like, how can I like show like who I am, but also like consider my character and how I engage with like the referees and the other team and my teammates. And like, do I want to be, the negative guy that's complaining about every call? Or, do I want to be like encouraged that we even have referees, or thankful that we even have referees for this league that I'm playing in? Like, I think it's just amazing to be back in your hometown and engaging with, the community that essentially backed you and gave you like a platform to even play in the first place.
And obviously I've known who you were for about a decade now, honestly, back on it. But you always seem like someone that was always high energy, always have a smile on your face. I mean, even in the toughest time, where'd you learn to kind of have that mindset?
Man, that's a great question. I guess where I've learned it is naturally, like myself. I do want to like complain and say like, why don't I have this or that? Like, why didn't I get, all the way to the NBA? Or like, why am I not like more athletic or taller or, better and things like that? Like, naturally I do want to do that, but I think like I was granted some wisdom by the grace of God, like in college, to just take a look at my life and think about all the things that I'm so thankful for. Like, not putting my hope in the game of basketball, but I believe that the like Son of God, Jesus himself, came to this earth to give us another start, and he died for my sins. Therefore, like, why would I dwell in this idea of like I don't have enough when I have more than enough? That if I open my eyes and I just see the things that I'm thankful for that he's given me, not because I earned them, but because he's that good, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to live in that thankful mindset. It's definitely not my default, man. I'm not naturally like this, but I am just trying to live in as much gratitude as possible.
Yeah, and I think everyone kind of defaults to that to an extent. I appreciate you saying that, by the way. But I feel like a lot of people kind of, like you said, that's their default, and you really have to work hard to put yourself in that mindset and be thankful for everything we have. Like, I mean, you and me, like, we have our families, we have people that love us, we get to do things that we love. I mean, what else do you really want at the end of the day,
Yeah, that's a great point. That's a great point.
And I mean, I wish more people would have would have the wisdom of you, but unfortunately, in today's society, I mean, we could go off on a tangent here, but a lot of people just feel entitled and want. They don't want to put in the work. I mean, that's what's going to prevail at the end of the day. That's something that it took me a long time to get to, because like I grew up playing baseball was my sport. I was really bad at basketball, but I mean, when I was in like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, I was good, but I was kind of undersized. I didn't have a whole lot of power, things like that. And I was just, well, I should be playing over him and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Instead of getting in the cages or getting extra work in on the field and really doing it. It's taken me a long time to realize that. And really, I mean, since I started the podcast and talking to people like you, I had a really good conversation with Derek Grant, who I think you're familiar with. And
I do know.
And I mean, that's a dude that'll make you want to run through a wall right there. But I mean, talking to people like you and just gaining that insight it's really beneficial for me.
Yeah, absolutely, Doug. And I appreciate like the platform and the work that you've put in too. I mean, honestly, dude, not easy to ask people that you might be a little familiar with or you don't know to say, hey, you got a half hour of time to to talk about basketball with me. Like, that's not easy. So I commend you for that.
I think it's yeah, it is kind of hit and miss with guests and reaching out to them. And think I've had some, not horror stories, but some some bad experiences with some people.
Oh, I bet.
Some podcasts I'm not putting out. I'm still they're sitting on my laptop, not putting them out. I mean, but thankfully for people like you to actually come on and be so gracious for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
And I want to transition to, obviously, a lot of people know you from your days at Butler. What was it like to play for a school that has such a unique culture? Because I feel like this is the same of like Purdue. It's different for IU and Notre Dame, but for smaller schools or for schools that aren't like the Tech Blue Bloods or whatever, they have more of a tight-knit community. I feel like Butler fans are really close. Same with Purdue fans. What was it like to be a part of that culture?
Yeah, I'm so thankful for Butler's culture for sure. It taught me a lot about how important it is to like treat each other like family and like want the best for one another. I love Butler's community too, how well we traveled. It was amazing to me. You know, here we are flying to DC in the middle of the week or something like that to go play Georgetown. And there's a plane full of people with us that are going to support. We got the dog barking on the plane, like ready to rumble, man. It's like, this is so fun. They always treated us too so well, like on campus, took care of us, you know, fed us. We had so many opportunities to engage with like the community. I had so many friends that had nothing to do with basketball. I think just like living in that, like we were talking about that theme earlier, just like living in thankfulness, and like they were thankful for all the things they had before, you know, that team went to back-to-back Final Fours, and then they kind of, you know, paved the way for new gifts for us, the newbies after that. So I was really thankful to be a part of that culture. And I'm also thankful that they continue to like invite me back. Like I'm supposed to go speak before one of the games on February 5th when we play the Johnnies, and just like kind of share, you know, a pregame interview and stuff like that. So even that they're thinking of me, like they have no benefit, you know, to invite me, but to, you know, ask me to come back, it's amazing. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, you definitely left a legacy there. I want to touch on that in a second, but obviously when you came in, this is right at the tail end of Brad Stevens, his stretch there, which was unbelievable. I mean, everyone from Indiana, regardless of what school you like, where you're from, whatever, you have to root for Brad Stevens. I mean, that's just kind of a given. What was it like to come in and play under him, and what kind of coach was it?
Yeah, it was an incredible experience for sure. Coach Stevens is like, he's got a lot of great qualities. You know, one of the things he gets a lot of credit for is his intelligence. Another one is his sense of humor. So picture this, I'm a freshman. This is my first summer on campus. There's two other freshmen with me, my dear friends Devontae and Chris. They were both freshmen too. Our first freshman workout, we got to go into the HRC, which is essentially the student gym on campus because Hinkle was being used. So we go in there, have a workout. Literally, Dub, we work out like shooting workout, ball handling, whatever. Then we end up playing one-on-one at the end, and we played 3 games. There's 3 of us out there. We each won 1 game in one-on-one. So Coach Stevens comes over to check on us afterwards. He wasn't running the workout. We're walking out of the HRC with him, and he has a piece of paper that has a bunch of letters on it. He pulls it out, and he's like, "What do you guys see here?" And we're like looking at the paper like, "What?" And he's like, "I don't see a W on here." And looked at us like like if we were gonna laugh or not. And we're just like, oh man, like this guy's got dad jokes for days, you know. So it was really cool to have the year I did with him, and then just to see like his care at the end, that like I'm going to go take this job. He said, like, I'm going to go take this job with Boston, but like, it was hard. It was hard for him to say. Like, he's so attached with Butler and he had so many great memories, and it was hard for him to let go. He was emotional, and stuff like that. So I just really respect him as a person, as a coach, as a GM now. So I'm thankful for my year with him.
Yeah, it's crazy to see how far he's come. And I had Kyle Marshall on the show. This was a few months ago now, and he talked about that meeting where, I mean, you guys all thought it was just a whatever, just a meeting, and then he comes in and you could tell like, oh, something's up. This don't feel right. And then he tells you guys, and I mean, I can only imagine how emotional that room was that day.
Yeah, he was pretty shook up. He couldn't really elaborate on it, because he was upset, but again, it just kind of shows his care. Mm-hmm. So
I asked Kyle this too. Did you think that he was actually going to take the IU job when rumors started swirling? I was scared. I was like, anybody but him. I do not want to play him twice a year.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But I don't know. He told us that he would never. I don't know. His opportunity in the NBA is just, it's so amazing. Like, you don't really get that much higher in the basketball world than a GM for the Boston Celtics. Like, he's pretty much at the pinnacle. So I'm not understanding what the incentive would be there to go to the Bloomington.
Yeah, it's just it's not even a good place either, in my opinion. But I mean, everyone's
you're not biased or anything.
No, not at all. I want to talk about the obviously massive talents that kind of came in. Obviously, Gordon Hayward, Shelvin Mack, Matt Howard, all those guys. It kind of opened the door, like you mentioned earlier, for all these high-level recruits like yourself and Roosevelt Jones, Andrew Smith, Keelan Martin, Tyler Weidman. I mean, you can go on. What was it like to be a part of that and to play with some of those guys?
Oh, it was amazing. I was thankful to see my man Kmart in the NBA here last year with the Pacers, and I remember like telling him when he was a freshman, like, dude, you're going to be a first round pick, and I don't know. I remember telling other people that. Maybe I didn't tell him. That was a bad teammate, but yeah, Tyler Weidman, I still keep in touch with him. He's overseas, bounced around a little bit. We did some workouts together as well. Rosie Jones is right down the street. I need to go catch a Indy game. He's actually assistant coach there. Trying to think. I see my man Tyler Lewis here at the end of the month. He's flying in from North Carolina, so I'm keeping tabs on everybody as well as I can. But sometimes time slips away.
Were you and Rodney Clark close at all? Because I mean, I'm assuming you were fairly close, but that your freshman year, his senior year, after he transferred, I mean, you guys were a lethal duo. Coming off the wings shooting, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's I think he's playing in Italy currently, but I try to keep in touch with him. Like last year we did like an online workout for kids. Yeah, he's an incredible player and an incredible dude. I wish we were closer in proximity because I miss the guy. He's very, very funny as well, so I miss that. But hopefully we can connect soon. He's got a lot of little ones too. I think he's got 3 now.
And you have one. I mean, fairly within the last few years. I don't know how old he is.
I get 2-year-old.
What's fatherhood been like for you?
Yeah, it's been really cool to be able to see the development from when he was just a little one to now he's like putting full sentences together. He's shooting on his little Tykes goal. Him and my wife and I, his mom, try to like soak in every day, man, because it really, like, it's cliche, but it really does. It goes really fast, and he's only 2 now. It's just gonna get faster.
If he, I know you probably won't push him in any direction, but if he decides to play basketball, and Butler's in the mix for him, are you gonna be like, hey, go there?
That's funny you said that. I already got a verbal offer from Barry Collier on my 2-year-old. I said, hey, come on, man, I need you to say it. Just offer him a scholarship. He said if he could shoot like me and he looks like his mom, he's in. So he's all set. We'll figure that shooting out.
And are you happy that, I mean, the timeline kind of fit well, just in terms of you being able to come home and watch your son grow up? I know a lot of basketball players, they don't have that luxury, especially if you play overseas, to be around your family. How blessed do you feel to have, I mean, just taking this route and be able to be around your son growing up?
Yeah, I'm very thankful for it. I made it a priority, Dub, because, man, I understand, you got to make ends meet when you're playing overseas and stuff like that. But my heart couldn't take it, man. If I could only see him, once or twice, for 8 months or 10 months out of the year, like, to me, that I love basketball, but I don't love it that much. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, I love my son more than I love the game. So that was kind of like a line in the sand, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and hey, nobody can fault you for that, obviously. Before we wrap things up here, I wanted to talk about Hinkle. We talked about Indiana high school gyms. I might catch some heat for this, but Hinkle's my favorite gym in the country. I love that place so much. I love it so much. It feels like a high school gym, less so after they did the little renovations and stuff. But I mean, going in there, that was the first college basketball game I went to. I went with one of my friends and his mom when I was 5th or 6th grade, maybe 7th. And I mean, I love Mackey Arena until the day I die, but there's something about Hinkle. It just feels different.
Man, oh, your fans are gonna hate to hear that, but it's true. You got to tell the truth, Dub. It's the best gym in America. So,
what was it like to play in there? Like, just to have that feel, that old time, like, Hoosiers feel, kind of.
Really cool. I really enjoyed it, and it's kind of a unique story too. Is in high school, I played for a fairly good high school team, and we went to the regionals, and the first round of the regionals was actually at Hinkle. So the end of my high school career bridged to the first game of my college career in the same place. But it's really cool, and even cooler than the actual gym is just like the people that poured into us, that allowed us to go to school on a scholarship to play basketball in front of 10,000 fans, where you hit a shot against Xavier, like, you're running down the other end to play defense, and like the whole court is shaking. You know what I mean? Like, you can't, your feet are like buzzing because it's so loud in there. The whole place is shaking. And it's very unique too that it's like you got the windows too. So like on our day games, you could see the light coming through, and it would shine off the backboard sometimes before they threw those big curtains up. But yeah, it's a really cool environment. It's unique. It's old school. I like that too. So
yeah, and even around the little like concourse thing, especially on where the floor is, I mean, they have all the little rooms that, I don't know. It's just, there's something special about that gym. You talking about your high school did remind me. I had Sean McDermott on a while back. Obviously, another Pendleton guy. Butler guy. What's your relationship been like? Because he talked very highly of you when I had him on.
Yeah, he's a brother of mine, man. We played together 1 year at Butler, and then obviously he played for the Grizz, and then he's having a little baby now. So I'm thankful for him. I hope I get to see him soon. I think I don't know if I got to see him this summer, but I saw his dad when we were playing golf together. But he's a brother of mine, man. I need to get in touch with him again. I've been thinking about him. So,
and I mean, last two questions. I appreciate your time again. What does it feel like to be back in Hinkle from a fan's perspective? I know you've been to a couple games.
Really cool. I love our team, man. We got a lot of pieces. Unfortunately, we've had a little bit of injury trouble. Got a lot of guys, but it's really fun to sit down and watch a game and go into Hinkle and seeing like all my old friends and fans and the donors and my old coaches and stuff. So it's really cool to watch again, and they're always so gracious to me. Like they got me and my family on the big screen too, and I know my son's really fired up about that. So they just do.
Yeah. Hey, when you're a little kid, that's. Oh, can you hear me?
Sorry, I got a call come in. Sorry.
You're good. All good. Yeah, but yeah, when you're a kid, I mean, that's your 15 seconds of fame right there is getting on the jumbotron at a game.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm gonna go back here soon.
Mm-hmm. And then last thing is, what was the toughest place to play at in the Big East for you?
Ooh, man, never easy on the road. I never won at Xavier. That place is very tough to play, especially with our like rivalry and stuff. Villanova is very tough to play. It's kind of old school, like Hinkle. Those fans are like loyal and they expect victory every time, and they'll let you know about it. Hardest place to play though, Dub, is you go out to Nebraska and play the Blue Jays. Oh, we played Doug McDermott his senior year when they're like electric, and he's like the best player in the country. I think he was averaging like 25 points a game. We fly into Creighton and play them, and we're down like 25 points at halftime. When they would cheer whenever he scored or something, like that place was rocking. There was 17,000 fans in there, and we happened to fly in on dollar beer night too. So that place was just electric in there. Yeah, probably Creighton that time, because that was just like, that was just unbelievable.
Yeah, hey, Dougie McBuckets, he lit America on fire.
He really did. I think he finished like third all time in scoring. It's like ridiculous.
Crazy like that. He was a machine. But like I said, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I appreciate you taking the time to do this after your workout. Go home, be with your family, and I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time to do this. I wish nothing but the best for you and your family. And I'll see you in March when you guys have your home opener.
You know it. Hey, thanks so much, Deb. We'll get you tickets and keep going on this podcast, man. It's amazing. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, have a good one.
Later.